In this video, I'm going to just talk a bit more points to my last video. You can regard this as a part 2 video to talking about Thailand, and I'm just going to fill out a few details, a few things I may have forgotten to make, a few points I forgot to make or didn't make, just a bit more detail of things I didn't make clear and so forth. I'm just going to go through my points, and the first point was just the idea about if you're on a visa, your visa is tied to your Thai wife. And what I didn't mention was if you're lucky enough or unlucky enough to have someone who just openly rips you off and steals from you, okay, that's happened many times. It might happen all over the world. I'm not having a go at Thai women or Thailand. Sure, this happens in all countries. I'm just saying there are many stories about Western men getting suckered into marriages in Thailand and they're ripped off and stolen because nothing's in your name. Like I said, everything's in a Thai person's name. You buy a house, business, all that stuff, very easy to be ripped off. So I just wanted to make that point. And you've got to be unlucky, okay, but it has happened. All I'm saying is how many times it happens, I don't know. What percentage of marriages that those bad things happen, I'm not sure, but it has happened, okay. So just wanted to make that point clear that you can live happily ever after. Everything, you can lose all your money, but you can also have a bad marriage where things are ripped off and you're stolen and you're taken to the cleaners in effect. So it has happened, it will happen again. How much it happens, I don't know, and sure, it happens all over the world. The next point, I made the point about being the younger you are, the more carefully you should think before coming to Thailand. And what does that mean, the younger you are? Anything under 50, I think, boy, I'm not going to stop anyone from coming to Thailand, and I'm sure there are many people under 50 at any age, sure, but I just believe anything under 50, I think you're going to have rocks in your head. Think very carefully. Now, I can understand it might be okay for old geriatric farts in the West to come to Thailand, 65, 70 plus year old men who have retired, that want to come to Thailand, blow their money in the last few years of their life. Maybe if they're lucky, pick up a young wife, half or a third their age, have a good time for the last few years of their life, blow all the money. I can sort of understand that, but if you're got any sort of self-esteem or self-respect, if you're a normal person and are not like one of these crazy old farts from the West who just want to blow their money and have a good time and get a young bar girl wife, I'll think very carefully. In anything under 50, over 50, the visa is a 5-year visa, so perhaps it's a bit easier. Under 50, it's a 1-year visa, more paperwork mucking around. The next point was a bit more about living here for a trial period. I think I made this point in the last video. I'm not talking about a holiday in Thailand. It's not a holiday, because every time you have a holiday, you're always looking at the world with rose-coloured glasses. Everything looks rosy, you're having a good time, you stay in hotels, resorts, you're travelling and so forth. It's never the same if you live in Thailand. Now, the smart thing some people do is live in Thailand for a few years, but they don't leave their country. They're not moving here full time. Maybe then when you retire or something, you can live here full time, and that's a win-win for you. As I said, not so young, retired, over 50, that might be fine. But if you stay here for a few months every year, which is what a lot of Westerners do, then go back to their country, that might be okay. You might have a Thai wife as well who doesn't mind staying in the West. That's a good idea, because even then you won't really understand what Thailand's like if you do that. Okay, if you stay here for a few months, now for example, you can get a 60-day visa in Thailand, which you can extend for 30 days when you're here. So you can get a 90-day visa, that's 3 months. Then if you really want to be smart, you can do 2 border runs where you just go to the border, cross, come back, get your passport stamped. You can get 2 border runs a year. So potentially, in theory, you can stay in Thailand for 5 months pretty easily a year. Now, how you can do that if you have a job and so forth back in your country, I don't know. But that's what you can do. Now, even if you do that, you stay here for 2, 3, even 5 months, it's not the same as living here full time. You won't fully understand what Thailand's like or what Thai people are like. Okay, because I live here full time and it's different. The other thing is, a lot of typical Westerners and expats and sexpats and so forth live on the Sukhumvit Road area, Pattaya and so forth, where there's a lot more Westerners. Thai people are more used to Westerners, there's a lot more English and so forth, and it's just easier to live. To truly understand, and also before I get to that point, if you have a Thai wife or a Thai girlfriend, you can stay in Thailand, you can even travel around Thailand, and you don't have to do anything. If you've got your Thai wife or Thai girlfriend, they're going to do all the business. The shops are going to look at them, they're going to do all the service in shops, go into a restaurant, everything. Your Thai wife or Thai girlfriend's going to do everything, and you can sit back and not do anything. So again, you won't really know what Thailand or Thai people are like. You can live here for months on end, and not understand. If you're staying in Sukhumvit Road or Pattaya, or if you have your Thai girlfriend or Thai wife all the time doing all the business in shops and restaurants, in those situations you won't even know what Thailand's like. It may seem like a fantastic, you're having a great time and so forth. Okay, so keep that in mind. The other point was, the only way to really learn what Thailand is like, and this is where perhaps I could be accused of being a bit bitter about my experience, because I am living on my own, well away from the touristy areas and well away from where Westerners are. Frankly, I don't want to see Westerners anyway. I came to Thailand to escape the West. I don't want to be in Sukhumvit or Pattaya, where all the bars are, where all the Westerners are. But the downside to that is, I'm the only Westerner living around here. The Thai people aren't used to Westerners. There's less English. Not many people speak English. So it's just not as easy to live. And then you can see what it's really like to live in Thailand. And it's not the same as being on a holiday where everything looks rosy, where you're having a great time. And it's definitely not the same if you're with a Thai wife or a Thai girlfriend and they're doing all the business. You walk into shops, the shopkeepers and attendants are always going to look at your Thai wife or girlfriend. They're never going to look at you. They'll ignore you. I've had many situations where I go into shops and get ignored. Even with a Thai person, maybe I scare people away. But if they were by themselves, they would get service. You go into shops, get ignored, and a Thai person walks in and they get all the service straight away. That happens many times. So just a few pointers about really knowing what Thailand's like and what Thai people are like. You have to be on your own, away from Westerners, where there's no other Westerners to really learn that. If you're here for a short time, if you're here for a holiday, if you're with your Thai wife or Thai girlfriend, you really don't see those aspects of Thailand. Okay, the next point was just talking briefly about the... and just one more point about that. For example, I had an argument on Facebook where I made a few negative comments, and the person, this idiot, had to come on and insult me and say, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Thailand's great, I'm looking forward to my next trip to Thailand." Well, the penny dropped because they admitted that they don't live in Thailand, right? That idiot admitted that he doesn't live in Thailand. He's looking forward to his next trip to Thailand. That means he doesn't live here. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't really know what Thailand's like. Okay, so that's a key that I definitely believe in, those points that I just made. Another point about your the visa, you might live with your in-laws. If your in-laws own the house, for example, then your in-laws, your mother-in-law, father-in-law may have to come along to the immigration officer, to the office to fill out forms, copies of ID, copies of registration papers for the house, all the paperwork and so forth to prove where you live. Just keep that in mind too. That comes back to what I was talking about, the rigmarole, the paperwork rigmarole that Thailand, the visas are. It's not easy. You've got to muck around with all the papers and copies and so forth. It's an absolute joke. I'll come back a bit more about that in a later point, but the next point was about the police, immigration police officers. I mentioned how you get the smug police officers. Well, when you do your yearly visa, excuse me, I can't edit these videos now. YouTube's taken away the free video editor, so it's got to be one take. I cough, drink water and so forth. You'll get 3 police officers come out to your home. 3. And they've got the same smug attitude, looking through your paperwork, going around taking photographs, you know, all this sort of stuff. It's really weird. We had an argument with one of the police officers because they were very smug, and, you know, I don't know what's going on there. But like I said, if you've got any self-esteem or self-respect, you know, why would you leave a country you're a citizen in to put up with that attitude and so forth? For me, these sleazy Westerners in Thailand are desperate to stay here. They can put up with that, but if you've got any self-respect like I have, if I knew it was like that, I would not have come to Thailand, or I would have at least thought very carefully about that. Okay, well, I'll talk about this other point as well, about the paperwork. You know, there are no set rules for paperwork. You make all these photocopies which, you know, you're told to photocopy everything, then they end up handing back, well, we don't need this, don't need that. They give you back a whole stack of paperwork which you thought you needed, but then you don't need. You waste all your time and money making all these photocopies. It's a total waste of time, and like I said, a paperwork, red tape nightmare, the visa. People make out like it's easy, but it all takes time. You've got to take photographs in your home too. Like all these photographs we had to take of me sitting in the living room watching TV to prove that I live in this house. You've got to put numbers up on the house and stand there and take photographs and so forth. And then when we went for the visa, it wasn't enough. We had to go back and take more photographs. Oh, I need a photograph here, photograph there. So repeat the whole process again. Drive back to the city to print out your photographs. All this stuff, you know, it's just part of the paperwork rigmarole. It's the same. Now, I'm not sure about work permits, but I know it's a similar thing. I read an article somewhere, if you go for a work permit, you've got to have photographs of you in the office to prove you work there and so forth. Anyway, that's their rules, so be it, but it's just part of the paperwork nightmare. The next point that I want to make is about, you know, it might be easier for Western women to live in Thailand. I don't know about that, because Western, you know, Thai women may not be as scared about Western women than they are about Western men. Now, I can't prove this. This is just my theory, that there's something strange about Thai women. They seem to be wary or scared of me. Like my condo where I live here, both my neighbours are 2 Thai women. And boy, I can live here for 100 years and they're too scared to look at me. If I happen to cross their path in the corridor, they're going to jump out of the way. There's something weird, which I can't get into the head of Thai women. I don't know, but if there is a thing where they're scared of me because there's this reputation of Thai Western men, you know, coming to Thailand, sleazy men chasing Thai women, thinking Thai women are easy and going to bars and so forth. You know, I really resent that attitude being put on me. I resent being ignored and treated badly. If that's the attitude, I can't prove that's the attitude, but if that is the attitude, then it's really Thailand's fault. It's a two-way street, but if it's a two-way street, it's mainly a 5-lane highway for Thailand and a single-lane road for Westerners, because yes, there are many sleazy Westerners coming to Thailand, going to bars and chasing bar girls, but by the same token, who has all these bars? It's Thai people operates these bars. Thailand and the Thai government tolerates all these bars and tolerates Westerners for the money they bring in. All the bar girls are, guess what? Thai girls. They're all Thai people. All the pole dancers and stuff like this, all the sexy girls and all the transgenders and ladyboys and stuff and so forth. You know, they're all Thai people. So if there is any sort of a, you know, wariness by some Thai women to be wary of a Western man, well, you know, look at yourself, because Thailand is at fault for all that sort of stuff. The other thing is, Thailand is a very sex-drenched country anyway. Now, the one country in the world that has a bad reputation for sex is Thailand, and no other country. You ask anyone around the world, and everyone's thought about Thailand or Bangkok is the bars, bar girls, lady boys, you name it. Why is that? That's Thailand. Now, Thai men may contribute to it, but it's mainly Thailand that does the bars, and all the Thai, the bar girls are Thai women, all the pole dancers and stuff like this, Thailand isn't closing down the bar. If Thailand, closed down the bars, sent the bar girls home to their hometowns to get real jobs and kicked out all the sleazy Westerners, then maybe you can complain about sleazy Westerners, chasing Thai women and thinking Asian women are easy to pick up and so forth, but it's Thailand that does that. Thailand's a very sex-drenched country, I find. It's a very strange country, even all the, take school children. This may sound strange, but you can't help but note, I'm not one of those men that always, leer after sexy girls, but you can't notice some things like, you look at, I don't know whether they're university students or school students, they wear black dresses and white shirts, and I'm not sure whether they're university students, but they walk around in the shortest, tightest black shirt, mini skirts and high heels and so forth, walk with their school books and so forth. It's just really weird how even the school children are sexualized with all these sexy dresses and high heels and stuff. You can't help but notice it. It's just really weird, and you don't even know how old they are, whether they're 15. Some look really young, like 14, 15. They might be older, teenage, in their 20s. They might be university students. I don't know, but it's really strange. The school children and how sexy they are. Also, nurses. I don't recall Thai nurses, nurses back in the West, back in Sydney, back in Australia where I come from, being as sexy as Thai nurses in their, short, tight dresses. You can't help but notice Thai nurses are just so sexy always. It's a really strange country that the school children, the nurses, even staff in shops wear all these, skin-tight pants always and high heels and, t-shirts that are 5 times too small for them, and their boobs are showing out, from their t-shirts in shops and stuff. At least staff in 7-Elevens have baggy shirts, but other shops like Macros and so forth, I know girls in every country in the world want to look sexy, but there's something about Thailand, something about Asian girls that are really overly sexy. It's a very sex-drenched country, and that's on top of all the bars and lady boys and bar girls and so forth. Sukhumvit Road and Pattaya and what's Patpong and all these weird laneways in Bangkok full of these sleazy bars and so forth. It's a really weird country. So if there's anything where Thai girls or Thai women are wary of Thai men, I resent that, because I'm not like that. I don't go to bars, and I resent being ignored and treated badly because of that reputation that Thai men have, that really Thailand and Thai women do themselves to themselves. So it's a really strange thing. Okay, another point here was the thing about the culture. And this one is actually a bonus for Thailand. I'm giving kudos to Thailand here because this is the one place where Thailand is very good in terms of how they respect the national anthem, the flag, the king, religion, temples and so forth, because in the West, and you Westerners need to come to Thailand and respect all those things, respect the monarchy, the king, temples, everything, because in Thailand's not the West. Thailand's not the same as the decadent, decaying West, where you can mock and trash and make fun of everything. You make fun of the Queen in England and presidents in America, you know, church, Christianity, Jesus is all mocked and trashed in the West. The national anthem, you kneel to the national anthem in America, burn the American flag. You can't do that in Thailand, where they actually respect the flag in Thailand. They respect the national anthem in Thailand. They respect temples and religion in Thailand. And that's a great thing about Thailand. So you Westerners, you know, be careful about that. That's one positive for Thailand I'm going to give. It's not like the ridiculous America where you can kneel and burn the American flag. In Thailand, they respect everything, so you need to respect Thailand in that respect. The last point that I had here was the thing about service, like, or lack thereof. I do think service is pretty poor in Thailand, I'm sorry. I've already touched on that before. If you're with a Thai person, your Thai wife or Thai girlfriend, they're going to get all the service. If you're by yourself, boy, it isn't the same. I don't want to dwell on that point. I may complain a bit too much about that, but that is a factor in Thailand. And if you want to live by yourself in Thailand, you just may have to put up with bad service, being ignored and so forth. Just another reason why, you know, Thailand's not the same as the tourism brochures or the rose-coloured glasses you might have if you're here for a holiday or for a short time. Everything looks great because you're here for a short time, having a good time, staying in hotels where you have doormen opening doors for you. Everyone's saying Sawadee in hotels, 3-star, 5-star hotels and so forth, and resorts. But if you're in the real world, a Westerner by himself, away from touristy areas, away from Western areas, away from Sukhumvit or Pattaya, you won't get all the Saudi cars and so forth like you do at resorts and hotels. You'll be ignored and get bad service. That's been a lot of my experience here in Thailand. So just a few more points about living in Thailand to add to the previous video, things I picked up on when I watched my video that I forgot to mention, just filling out a few details. For what it's worth, take care, and I'll see you next time.